You know what? I was going to wait and do this. Actually, I was going to do this talk tomorrow, but let's do this talk tonight instead. This election, in all likelihood, won't be decided tonight, right? Like the votes are all cast, and it'll have to be counted. But depending on how it's counted, it's going to be a few days. We're kind of in this weird place. It's like Schrodinger's election, right? All the votes have been cast, but we have no real knowledge of who wins and who loses. All the votes have been cast, but we don't know the outcome. But the outcome is there, but we're not entirely certain. Did we win or did they win? So it's this weird place of not knowing. Not knowing who won the election. But there's nothing we can do about it. Not a thing in the world you and I can do about it right now. Nothing. And that's okay. It's actually probably a really good thing. It's probably a really healthy thing, especially if we can come to grips with it. So I'm not going to talk tonight about who's winning, who's losing, who said what, and how they're going to do this and how they're going to do that. We'll come back tomorrow for the live stream and we'll talk about that stuff. But this is going to be the only thing I say about the election. No, we don't know who's winning. No, we don't know who's losing. No, we don't know who gets what electoral college votes. We know that all the votes have cast. We know that it's done. And now we're going to be in this place of waiting. And while we don't know who the next president will be, we know the absolute most important thing for us. Can anybody guess what it is? We know who we're supposed to be. I don't know if we'll wake up and it'll be President Harris or President Trump, but I do know who I'm supposed to be. And I know who you're supposed to be. Generally, I mean, we all have gifts and stuff, but we know that really in the grand scheme of things, this doesn't change our purpose. If you're a person of love, you're going to be a person of love with President Trump or President Harris. If you're a person of faith, you're going to be a person of faith with President Trump or with President Harris. It makes no difference at all. None at all. And when we can accept that scary reality, we can get on with doing what we're actually supposed to be doing, because not one of us is supposed to be worrying about who the president is or waiting on this election. We vote. You do your thing. I didn't vote. I'm in Canada. I have my own elections coming up in a couple of weeks. You voted. You did your duty. And now it's time to go back to living your purpose, because that's who you are. And that's how you've been made. And that's what the world needs from you. The world doesn't need you to be worrying. The world doesn't need you to be fretting. The world doesn't need you to be feeling a whole lot of anxiety. The world doesn't need us refreshing our screen every 5 seconds, waiting for the next precinct to report in with the next 150 votes. It won't change a thing. The die has been cast. We just don't know the outcome. But again, that doesn't mean life goes on hold. We still know what we're supposed to do. Big fan of Viktor Frankl. I'm a big fan of Viktor Frankl's logotherapy. And I'm a big fan of the idea that I can get through just about anything. I can get through just about anything if I give myself to my purpose. And my purpose isn't to worry about who the next Premier of Nova Scotia will be, or who the next Prime Minister of Canada will be, or who the next President of the United States will be. Now, you might say, well, Ed, that's easy for you to say. You're a 50-year-old cis man sitting in a nice, comfortable office in Nova Scotia, Canada. It is. That's all very fine and good. There are people out there who are really worried. There are people who feel at risk. There are people who feel as though they could be in danger. But I know what my purpose is to be. I know what my purpose is, I know that my purpose, regardless of who the president is to be an ally to those people, to stand beside those people, to be there with those people. That doesn't change. That will not change over the next few days, over the next few weeks, over the next few years. My job is, my call, my purpose is to stand beside others, to take care of others, to love others in whatever way they need it, however they may need it. My job is to be a Christ-like figure in the world. And so is yours. So I guess what I'm getting at here is whoever looks like they're winning, whoever looks like they're losing, your candidate's up a few votes, or if your candidate's down 60 million votes, you still have a purpose. You still have a job to do in this world. Sure, maybe in the end, whoever wins, that might make your job easier or harder, but you still have the job. You still have the call. It may, depending on who wins, may decide how you're supposed to go about answering that call, but you still have the call. And while we find ourselves in this weird place of Schrodinger's election, again, the votes have been cast. It's going to take a while to count them. Focus on your purpose. Dream up how you're going to be there for your neighbors and how you're going to be there for the community. Spend your energy dreaming and visioning how you can use your gifts to make the world a better place. Because you can. And you should. I know. I'm infuriating. I know that I am an absolute... I'm absolutely naive. I know that maybe I'm an idealist. Maybe I'm being way too positive at this time. Maybe I'm too far removed from those from the danger. I'm too far removed from the danger. Maybe I'm one of those things or all of those things and more. But again, you and I have been placed here for a reason. And it isn't to worry about something we can't impact. It's to dream about what we can do, and it's to roll up our sleeves and do it. Amen.